Alright, so this is one of those things I haven't talked about much because, honestly, who would believe me? But here goes. I had this roommate for about 6 months. His name was Greg. Normal dude. Worked a 9 to 5. Always kept to himself. We got along well enough, shared some laughs, even went out for beers a couple of times. But man, there were some weird things I noticed after he moved in. At first it was small stuff. Greg never ate at home, like ever. I know it sounds dumb, but when you live with someone, you notice these things, right? I'd cook, offer him some food, and he'd always have some excuse like, I already ate, or I'm not hungry. Okay, whatever, maybe the guy just liked eating out. I didn't think too much of it, but then things got off. I started hearing noises in the middle of the night. Not normal apartment creaks or the occasional loud neighbor, but really odd stuff, like a scratching sound from Greg's room. It sounded like something was trying to claw its way out. I told myself it was just the building settling, even though it was dead quiet before Greg moved in. One night, I couldn't sleep, so I decided to knock on Greg's door to see if he wanted to watch a movie or something. When I knocked, there was no answer. His door was slightly cracked open, though, and I figured he wouldn't mind if I just peeked in. You know, casual roommate behavior, except when I did, I immediately regretted it. Greg was sitting in the middle of the room, hunched over on the floor. No lights on, no TV, just him, staring at the wall. I froze. I don't know if it was the weirdest part or not, but his eyes, man. His eyes were glowing, like legit glowing. They had this dim red light coming from them. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. I backed out of there as quietly as I could and shut myself in my room. The whole night I kept thinking, what the hell did I just see? I didn't sleep. I kept my ear pressed to the wall, listening for more of those scratches, but it was just silence. The next morning, Greg acted totally normal, like nothing happened. He greeted me with a "What's up, man?" and casually left for work. Meanwhile, I'm over here trying to make sense of what I saw the night before. But here's the thing. I didn't ask him about it. Something deep inside me told me not to. So, a couple of days passed, and I thought maybe I was just overtired or imagining things. You know how the brain can mess with you when you're half asleep, right? But then it happened again. And this time, I heard something talking, like a low, raspy whisper. It was coming from Greg's room, except I was pretty sure Greg wasn't alone. I couldn't make out the words, but it was creepy, like someone or something was having a conversation with him in that weird hushed voice. I thought about knocking again, but no way. I wasn't going near that door. Instead, I waited for Greg to leave the next morning and checked his room. And, man, what I found, it still messes me up. Under his bed, there was this strange circular symbol. It was carved into the floor, and there were weird markings all around it. I'm not talking about, like, little doodles or whatever. This was something ancient, something not human, and I swear I could feel heat coming off it, even though the room was cold. At that point, I decided I had to get out. I didn't even pack my stuff. I just called in sick to work, grabbed my essentials, and left. I didn't want to be around when whatever Greg was involved with came for me next. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Confront him? Call the cops and tell them, hey, my roommate's eyes glow at night and he's got some kind of demon circle under his bed. I moved in with a buddy the next day and left all my stuff behind. Greg? I never saw him again. I didn't even try to get the deposit back. Honestly, the money wasn't worth whatever Greg, or whatever thing, was living in that apartment. I don't know if he was human or possessed or what, but I do know one thing. I'm never, ever living with a stranger again.